In 2007, when I graduated, that kind of first started the dream of, all right, I'm done with school. Now I need to try to find a way to do Reno. Originally, I was looking for a Lancer 360 or a Harmon rocket. That was kind of my budget that I had saved. And I went down to see Wayne Marshall, and he was living in Arkansas at the time. And went down there. We flew out of Waukegan, Illinois, actually, and went down there for the weekend and look at his Harmon rocket. And I asked him why he was selling it. And he said, well, I've got a legacy. It's, the interior's not done, the paint's not done, but it's flying. You want to go fly it? And I was like, oh, yes, I want to go fly a Legacy so bad. He was an old A4 pilot in the Marines, and so he had it set up to fly from the right seat, so I got to sit in the left seat, which I thought was pretty cool. And so we went flying, and I came back and just had that grin and was like, oh, this is so amazing. He's like, you don't want my rocket anymore. I think I need to save a little longer, and continued my daily antics of looking at barnstormers. And my airplane came up on barnstormers. It hadn't flown in 4 years, had a questionable engine. It had a gear up landing, had a prop strike, like totally checkered history. But I'm like, this is perfect, because I knew I was going to change everything. I was the guy I was buying it from. He's like, you want me to like relabel the gauges and stuff? I'm like, oh no, that's all coming out of there. I need data acquisition. I need to change all this stuff. So that's when I first found my plane. So I ended up getting a really smoking deal on it. I got it basically half price for a Legacy because it had the damage history and hadn't flown. I picked up the plane race week of 2012. That was the first time I got the plane, and it had a performance engine that was kind of questionable, and a lot of people said, yeah, no, don't worry, or don't buy it because of that. And I'm like, oh, I can figure out engines. I'd worked at Evinrude. I worked at Delta Hawk for a short stint on their diesel engine, and so after that, it was like, okay, now we have a really good baseline of an airplane that we can go fast with. First goal was to go to pylon school and get qualified. So each June we go out for the rookies. I love to go every year because it's like airplane camp or summer camp for airplane junkies. So I go out there every year just because it's so much fun. And so I went to pylon school the first year, and the plane would do about 300 to 310 miles an hour when I got it. And I started doing the math and was looking at it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in the gold class. This is good. This will be fun. And I kept going. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get lapped. Like, oh no, we're not getting lapped. So that's when my competitiveness really kicked in, and so we started trying to figure out what could we do to make it go faster. The first thing was obviously more boost is the easy way. Then you got to keep it cool, so we added spray bars, we added water methanol injection, which is the ADI, the anti-detonation injection. So we started adding all that stuff our rookie years. So our rookie year we came out, we did I think we qualified at 347, and it was a good showing. Flew really fun race with David Sterling and Lynn Farnsworth that year. We were all right about third place. Kind of you could throw a blanket over all of us. It was a lot of fun. So then it was like, okay, well, how do we go really fast? At that time, Jeff was throwing up crazy speeds. Before I started racing, John Sharp and Daryl Greenemeyer had pushed it up. John Sharp had some 400-mile-an-hour races in his, one-off NXT. That the bar was set incredibly high, and it was that dream. I mean, we came back from Reno that first year and put on my whiteboard where we make all the notes of what we're going to work on is like 400 miles an hour. Like, we got to chase that. And, I think John Sharp summed it up really good with his, chase the dream, not the competition.